Welcome again, I'm Dr. Vyas, founder of New Wave Wellness Center. And in this video, we are talking about flu season. Well, it's January, February, it's that time of season when what is in everybody's mind and what shows up in the media all the time is it's flu season. We know that. It comes with a vengeance every year. And every year they claim it to be the worst flu season ever. So what exactly is the main cause of these things? And what can you do to maybe help yourself, protect yourself this year? I'll talk about that. So the main culprit in this thing is stress. So we'll talk about how stress affects all these things and makes you end up with a cold, a flu, any of these kind of issues. So the American Council for Science and Health, claims that they just came out with a study recently that showed that apart from the whole healthcare impact of the flu season, there's a huge economic impact as well. From time lost at work to lost wages to the healthcare costs and all that, it costs over $40 billion per year during the flu season. That's a huge significant number. So what can you do and what exactly is happening? Well, we're just coming out from the holiday season, right? We know starting Halloween time, we're already getting ready during Halloween for Thanksgiving. You have all the stresses of Thanksgiving, creating the meals, maybe family visiting, and then while that is just getting over, you're thinking about Christmas, and then comes the Christmas whole stress. So in January, you're sitting around just thinking about, oh man, how much money you spent, what happened with family drama, all that deal. Those are all big stresses that you're carrying over into the new year. So why is this stress causing all these issues? Well, your body's natural response. Stress is a natural response caused by your body. Your adrenal glands, you've heard me talk about the adrenals, they produce certain hormones that help you deal with stress. Stress is what we call a sympathetic response of the body, the fight or flight. This is where your body is getting ready to either fight in a situation or run away from a situation. So during times of stress, your body produces certain things called pro-inflammatory cytokines. Now, this is a good thing. It sounds like inflammatory is a bad thing, but no. There's good stress and bad stress, right? So the same way there's good inflammation and bad inflammation. So the pro-inflammatory cytokines help your body deal with stressors, help you maybe fight off infections, viral, bacterial, that kind of deal. And then when you're done with that stressors, your adrenal glands or your body produces something called anti-inflammatory cytokines. With our stressed out lifestyles nowadays, we have what we call prolonged stress. We're always constantly being bombarded with all sorts of different stressors, from the chemical stress, temperature stress, being so cold out here, things like those. Now, those stressors cause them to be an imbalance between the pro-inflammatory and the anti-inflammatory. When that happens, you end up with more of the wear and tear, the more of inflammation going on. Because again, you're having more inflammation coming up into the body because you have more stressors. Your body also produces something else called a corticosterone. This is another one produced by the adrenal glands, which is what we call an immunosuppressant. So let's go back to a step with this thing. When you're in that stress response, your body is in that fight or flight response. A lot of things or a lot of systems in the body are turned down because your body's thinking about survival at this time. Your digestive system gets turned down or shut down at that time. So what happens? You're not thinking about digesting, and that's one of the reasons why people with chronic stress have digestive issues. Your reproductive system slows down or is turned down a lot more. So again, that's one of the big reasons for high number of infertility cases nowadays. And the other thing that gets turned down is just because I said the immunosuppressive hormones makes your immune system get suppressed. So when your immune system is suppressed, you're more prone to ending up with the colds and flus because those bugs and viruses are everywhere right now. So yes, you may wash your hands, you may get the flu shot. Even people that get those flu shots still end up with the flu, most of the times here. So what exactly is going on? This is the whole thing that we talk about. The anti-inflammatory and the pro-inflammatory imbalance in your body because of this chronic stress is one of the big culprits because it suppresses your immune system. So that just kind of helps you explain that yes, we know the bug is causing you the problem, but how can you protect yourself? Well, that's the big thing. We also know if you go to the doctor, they suggest or they give you something called Tamiflu. You may have heard of that. Tamiflu says right there on the box, helps calm the symptoms of the flu by 1 day. So that's it. It's just going to help you take care of those symptoms by 1 day. So you might get 1 day extra relief than what you were expecting. Well, instead of that, why don't we just take care of this flu and fight it off where, again, the way we say, the root cause of the problem, right? So take care of your stress. How do you do that? Big question. Everybody knows, stress is there. How do you get rid of stress? First thing is, again, we know sleep. You've heard me talk about sleep. Sleep is very important for the body. An adult needs about 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Because when we sleep, we actually recover from the day. You're producing all sorts of hormones. You're doing certain repair during sleep time. So you need to get about 7 to 9 hours of sleep, good quality sleep. Now you decide how you want to do that and how, different ways of doing that. So again, to help calm the body down is breathing techniques. If you're a patient in my office, you know I always show you, or I always mention to people, breathe, because we have almost forgotten how to breathe. We've all become what we call chest breathers. We're very shallow breathing and always in a stressed, tied up state. So we talk about the belly breath. Take nice deep breaths in. Oxygen is free, air is free. So take in some nice deep breaths and calm your brain and your body down that way. Same way with breathing goes meditation. Yes, it sounds a little more new age, and a lot of people have tried it and have failed. But again, just breathing and just being calm with yourself is meditation on its own. So that's one way to kind of get rid of some of the stressors. The other thing we also know is exercise. Exercise is wonderful. Now, when it comes to exercise, we know that people have made also, this big New Year's resolutions where they're talking about losing huge amount of weights and all that, and you push yourself in the gym. That kind of exercise can actually cause more stress to the body. So you have to be a little careful about that. And now going back to one of those things is, if you're doing certain things, well, check your workload. You don't need to overwhelm yourself. Yes, work is work, but again, when you're talking about away from work, things like the way I just said, exercise. Make smaller goals that are achievable, reach those things, and you feel better about yourself, so you're not stressing yourself out. So those are a few simple ways to kind of help control the stress. And if you try this time, you may notice you might not end up with that flu. If you've not taken the shot this year, don't worry about it. Try this stress relieving techniques, and you'll notice that you might not end up with the flu this year. So I hope this information has helped you, and if it has, please share this information with others, because we know everyone is stressed. That's the lifestyles we live nowadays. It's just how we manage and control these stressors is how we, live our lives now. So share this information. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.